would like to thank you, the students, the teachers, and all of your schools for making this excellent event a real possibility. My name is Roger Dunigan, and as Rebecca, there's not much to say after Rebecca said everything. In fact, when I get elected, I think I would probably like to hire her. She speaks so well. The name is Roger Dunigan. So say it, Dun-E-Gun. Let's hear it. Dunigan, Dunigan, Dunigan. Okay. All right. Now, when you go to the polls this afternoon, remember that name. It's a great thing that you are doing here today, learning how to vote. In the last election, one of the things that I did was drive people to the polls that did not have transportation. And there was one young couple in their early 30s that had never voted before, and they had their young daughter who was about 3 or 4 years old with them. And as we were going to the polls, the mother explained the reason she was taking her daughter, that the two of them had never voted. Their families had never voted. And she wanted her daughter to grow up to understand that voting is a great privilege and is something naturally that you should automatically do. You have the experience here today of learning how to vote. That is really important because we have so many people in our society that do not vote. How many of you here today will be able to vote in this election? All right, great. And remember, you know who to vote for. Elections are not about signs. As you drive around, you see a lot of signs. You see big signs, little signs. I saw in one location 13 signs for the same candidate. And it's not about the number of signs. It's not about the number of TV ads or newspaper ads. Elections need to be about the issues. And Rebecca shared with you what I feel are the important issues. The environment, education, health and human services. All of those things and many other things have been greatly harmed in our state government because we have cut and cut and cut. Schools do not have adequate money to provide the quality education that we want them to have. The environment is at risk. Health and human services caseloads are up to 500, 700 per worker. They can no way provide adequate care to people. As you begin your political process, I have one word of caution for you. Always consider the issues and the approach rather than the party or the individual. You need to understand that most of us are either Republicans or Democrats because our parents were Democrats or Republicans. It's the same way with religion. If you're Lutheran, chances are your parents were Lutheran. If you're Jewish, your parents were Jewish. If you're Muslim, your parents were Muslim. It's important that we learn one lesson, that there is no one party, there is no one politician that has a corner on the truth. We arrive at the truth through an open and honest exchange. If you were all blind and standing around an elephant, I use an elephant rather than a donkey because elephants are much more interesting animals. If you were standing around an elephant blind and each of you touching a different part of the elephant, you would have totally different experiences. Somebody would be holding the tail and think this is a wimpy animal. Somebody else would be grasping the leg and saying, this is a big, powerful animal. The person grabbing the trunk, I don't know what they would be thinking. But the person grabbing the ear, they have another experience. They're all looking or feeling the same reality, but they all have a different perspective. And it's only when they share that perspective with each other that they really come to understand the reality. And that's the way politics is. Nobody has a corner on the truth. And it's by working together that we really understand and work together. And so I ask for your vote this afternoon